Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am super excited for today's video because I finally got my Muerte palette from Melt Cosmetics. So this was originally part of their holiday collection in 2019. I did not know who Melt was. I barely played with makeup at that point. That's just when I started. And when I found this in 2020, I was really mad that I couldn't get it anymore. And I have been hoping that it would restock since. I did find sometime in 2020 Vita on sale, so they had the other half, and then people have been asking and asking and asking. Melt teased that they might bring it back recently. There was like a random picture of someone holding it in the background, and finally restocked, and I went online and bought it immediately, and it came a couple days ago, and I am so excited. It's so beautiful in person, and I can't wait to play with this. So I'm gonna do some swatches just to see what they look like. Also, that way you can see them on my olive skin tone if you also have an olive complexion. And then I'm gonna do a look and see if I think it's worth the hype and worth the wait to get it. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Colin. I am a non-binary Latinx scientist and lover of makeup with a soft spot for indie makeup and colorful makeup. And I have new content every week, so I'd love to have you subscribe. So this came a couple nights ago. Today is Saturday. This came Thursday night, I believe. Yeah, it was Thursday night. And I filmed yesterday with my Pat McGrath palette. So filming with this today. I'm very excited. It came in the standard Melt box. Very pretty packaging. And then it has on the back, it has all of the shade descriptions, made in the United States, 12-month shelf life. 17.73 grams of product. This does retail for $58. I believe it is still in stock, but they did say once it sells out, it's gone for good. So I will put a link below if it is still in stock, but it might be gone. So hopefully if you wanted it, you were able to get it. It did seem like it didn't sell out instantly, which is one thing I was worried about. So when you open it up, you get the Muerte palette, which means death for anybody who doesn't speak Spanish. And it is the exact same, but it has like a shiny, textured quality to it. It is like raised and really beautiful. So like I said in the intro, this was part of their Amor Y holiday collection in 2019. And I do already have the other half of it, which is the Vita palette, so Life and Death. And I have wanted these so much. One, the color stories are beautiful, and now that I've tried Melt, I really love their eyeshadow formula. I actually really like everything I've tried from them. I'm wearing one of their cream blushes. They are my favorite cream blush, and this is my favorite color, Sandy Cheeks. I really, really love the lip liners and eyeliners I have from them, and the powdered blushes I have from them. Like, there's nothing from them I haven't liked. I also really love the theme of a lot of their collections, especially this one. So if you didn't already know, I am Mexican American as well. One of the owners is, and I have a sugar skull tattoo on my arm, a calavera. And these, when you put them together, form a sugar skull. So this is really beautiful, really represents my culture, and I really love this. I love seeing brands, especially brands owned by people from my culture, celebrating my culture. So it makes me very happy. I will try to be as unbiased as possible. Like, if the quality sucks and I try this and I'm like, wow, I wasted my money, then I will say so. But it definitely speaks to me. It's made me very sad for a year and a half only having one side and not thinking I'd ever be able to get Muerte, because there was no way I was paying $300 online for a used one. But it fits together beautifully. This is maybe my favorite little like palette now as a whole. And then the back fits together as well. It's just beautiful. So Muerte is the death half, Vita is the life half. So Vita is very bright. You can see I've used it quite a bit. And then Muerte is dark and deep and smoky, and I really love it. I can't wait to try this. I think I'm gonna stick with the blues because I've never used blues from Melt before. I really love the reds in their holiday palette and their purples, and I love their olive tones. as an olive. They're very much my neutral, so I really love Gemini for that. But I've never tried their blue, so I'm probably gonna stick to this side of the palette today. I'm gonna do swatches just so I can see what things look like, and then I'm gonna do at least one eye look and see what I think. I did also wanna compare it to their holiday palette from this last year, 2021. This has a very different format for Melt, but it does have some of these red tones down here. So I was looking at this yesterday, and there are no direct dupes as far as I can see. I will do some swatches to compare, because I think that would be helpful. Because if this sells out and you weren't really interested in the blues, this does have greens and some of those reddy purples, and this is on sale right now. So you can still get this, and it's like 20 something right now. So I will do some swatch comparisons in a minute. Also, I forgot to take my allergy meds this morning, so my allergies are a little extra today, so I might be a little sniffly. So I'm gonna do these on my arm. I have no product down, and I don't think any of these should change color. This teal-y mint shade might look a little different on me just because I have olive skin, but everything else I think should be pretty universally the same. So this has 3 shimmers, and then the rest are mattes. Really like that ratio. So I'm gonna go just across. So the first shade is Angelito, and it does feel firmly pressed, but it's very pretty. I will probably use this today. And we've got the minty shade here, this like bright teal. That's really pretty, really pigmented. And then this slightly grayish blue, Duelo, really beautiful. It's like a deepened teal. Very shiny, but it is a very thick, firmly pressed shadow. I don't know if they updated the formula or did any changes, or if it is the exact same formula. I haven't seen anything to say. That is beautiful. I love that. And then, yeah, that is definitely like a blackened teal. It is very beautiful. Okay, and then we've got this gray shade. This one feels a little softer, really pretty. Noche Eterna, so Eternal Night is this dark blue. That's really pretty. Looks a little less dark swatched than it does there. And then Katrina is the dark blue shimmer. Very pretty, especially for like this part, a really deep smoky eye, or for the outer corner. It's really nice. That is beautiful. It was a little crumbly, but that is a really pretty deep shimmer. I do know that people said you could kind of dupe the 2 palettes together with the Beauty Bay Wilderness palette, which I do have, but I don't love the formula of. It's fine, especially for like the $12, $15 I paid for it, but I don't enjoy using it, so I don't actually grab it very often. And now that I have this, I might declutter it and give it to someone who I think will use it more, because I definitely prefer the Melt matte formula to Beauty Bay's. And now we've got the red section. So we've got 3 reds and then this brighter like inner corner shade. So we've got this. So this is a blood red, and the name is blood in Spanish. This is a bright red. And then this is like a plummier berry red, which I want to compare to some of the shades in their last holiday palette. I really like their red matte. So you can see very blood red. This one's a little more plummy. And a nice bright red there. And I'll just use my pinky for the inner corner shade. Like a nicey, kind of a pale gold. Really pretty. This could be a very pretty look. Okay, so that is the palette swatched out. It is very beautiful. There's lots of swatches on the internet from the first time it came out too, but I had to see what they look like and I wanted to do some comparisons. So I'm gonna wipe off my hands and then do some comparisons to their other holiday palette. So here is the Holiday 2020 palette. I love this. This was one of my favorite palettes of 2021. You can see like this is very purple. There's not really a direct purple here, but you've got like this kind of more blood red. You've got a bright red here. So I wanted to swatch a couple of these just so you could see them side by side. So I'm gonna do Maria, Charo, Almohada, and we'll do Perla. I think those are probably our best bets. I might do Nueva Vida on there as well. So just so you can see them next to it, let's do. So that is very similar to this one, but a little less blood and a little more, it has a little bit more purple to it, but it is pretty similar. Definitely, yeah, in person especially, this looks like dried blood and this has a little more purple to it. That one's a little more purpley as well and not quite as deep as that. That is very purple. And that red is a little more pinky red. This is a little more true red. This has a little more pink to it. And then the last one that I'll just compare is this Nueva Vida here. I think those are really the only comparable. Put that here. So that is very similar to the blood red shade, but like not quite as dark. So you can see how dark and rich this is. This is a little lighter. And you can see this one is also a little similar, but a little more purple, very purple, a little more pinky red, a little more true red. So the fact that that also has a bunch of greens and stuff, I think, and this has blues, makes it okay. I'm totally fine with having both. I also really love these shades in Melt's formula. So I'm very happy to have this. I'm gonna go wash my arm off so I don't get this everywhere, especially since I'm wearing a white and yellow tank top and I don't want this all over me. And then I'm gonna try out the shades. So no staining or anything on my arm, which is nice. I just used regular hand soap in my kitchen right over here. This is a very small apartment. And no staining, so that's really nice. Maybe a tiny bit on my fingertips. They're just a little darkened, but that'll should come off when I shower. So I do want to stick with the blues. So I think I'm gonna start with the darkest shade just to see how it works. So I think I'm gonna start with Noche Eterna and then maybe put the minty shade to blend it out. And then see if I can deepen it up with the gray and see how that works. And then maybe I'll put one of the reds on the lower lash line. So I grabbed a small Sigma brush, so I'm just gonna pick up a little bit of that dark blue. Picks up really beautifully. And I'm going to set the palette down. It does have a mirror, which I do like, but it is a long, skinny mirror. And I prefer a bigger mirror, so I'm gonna use my Fenty Cosmetics Juno Birch mirror. So I'm just gonna place this on my outer V. I'm gonna pat it right here. I'm gonna draw a wing shape with it. So very pigmented, it's really beautiful. It's my favorite kind of blue. Like a dark inky blue is my favorite shade of blue, and blue is my favorite color, so. And I'm just going to blend this into my crease a little bit and see how well it blends by itself. The best way to make sure you get it as dark as possible is to put it down first, so that's why I'm doing that today. Okay, so that looks really nice so far, and that was literally a dip. So I'm gonna do one more little dip, tap it off, and go back in and just kind of blend that into the crease a little bit more. And this is a Sigma E42 Precision Blender, by the way, in case anybody was wondering. A little stiffer of a brush, which I like for this kind of placement. And then I'm gonna take another small brush, but this one's a little fluffier, and I'm gonna go into the minty bright teal shade And I'm gonna put that around the edges to blend it out, and a little bit more on my inner corner to have that brightness there. I'm gonna pat it there. A little bit more. I'm gonna pat it there, and then I'm gonna use it to blend out the blue over here. So that is blending together very nicely. I do think I will put the gray down to see if I can get this even darker in the outer corner, but I'll worry about that in a minute. Okay, so I really like the way that looks. I do want to put a little bit more of that dark blue down. And you could have started with the lighter shade. I just wanted to start with the dark one today and see how it worked. So I'm just putting a little bit more blue to intensify and blending it into the more minty shade. And then I'm gonna take a pencil brush and go into the gray shade, and I'm gonna see if I can deepen up the outer corner even more with this. So I'm just gonna tap that right here. Okay, it definitely, I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but in person, it definitely added some depth right there. So very much appreciate that. It's also very matte. I don't know how to describe it other than describing it as very matte. It would be a really nice eyeliner shade because it's so matte. And then I think I'm gonna take a little bit of the blood red shade and put that on my lower lash line. I'm just picking it up on this little packing brush. This is from Odin's Eye. I don't use it very often, but it's a good shape for this because it's not glued properly. But it still works for this. And I just want to put that down here. And then using that same pencil brush, I'm just taking a little bit more of the gray and incorporating them two together. Okay, so I really like that. So I really like the way this looks so far. It's very dark, very smoky. And I could have made it even more so if I would have avoided the minty shade, but I didn't want to throw that in. So I'm gonna try out the shimmers. I'm gonna put Angelito all over the lid, this on the inner corner, and then this on the outer lid to blend into the dark shades. So to avoid fallout, I'm gonna spray my brush. So I'm gonna pick up a little bit of the shadow. I'm gonna pick up Angelito first. Doesn't really wanna pick up on this brush. This is a rougher brush. I don't know if it's because I swatched it or what, but it didn't, okay, it's starting to pick up and I'm having to like swirl it a little bit. And I'm gonna and then I'm gonna place that all over the lid. Yeah, it's really pretty, but it doesn't want to pick up on this brush. I don't know if I like gave it a little bit of hard pan already from swatching it with my finger, or if you just need to use your finger. I will say I also have 0 fallout, so that's very good. Yeah, it seems like it's developing hard pan as I try to use it. You can see there's like that flat shiny spot, which is very weird. And there was nothing sprayed on the brush, so it's not a reaction to that. But I did manage to pick some up. I am getting a little bit of fallout from the shimmer, but that's because I really had to dig in. So I'm just gonna use a fluffy brush real quick and kind of brush some of that away. Brushed away easily at least. And then I'm gonna flip the brush over and pick up a little bit of Katrina, which picks up much better. And I'm gonna place that out here. And just blend the two together. So I do know people don't love Melt shimmers. I haven't had an issue with them before, but this Angelito shade is misbehaving a little bit. that's really pretty. And then using a different pencil brush, I'm just gonna pick up a little bit of this shade and put it on my inner corner. And that is very bright and very pretty. I'm just gonna brush it up, which is something I tend to do, and under a little bit. I like my inner corner shade to go under and up a little so it connects everything, kind of like the darkest shade goes underneath to connect to the outer corner. Okay, so I'm gonna go off camera, repeat this on the other eye, add mascara and stuff, and I will be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and this is the finished look. Like I said, I copied everything over to this side, and then I just added some mascara and some eyeliner. I used one of the Melt Waterline eye pencils. This is the Apricot Cream shade. Really beautiful for like a brightening color, but not white. So it doesn't look unnatural. It looks very good, especially on my, like a medium skin tone. Really great, love these. And then I just put a little bit more of my Trixie lip gloss on. It is the end of this one. Thankfully I have backups because this one is dead. So I will say this shimmer does look really beautiful. It is really shiny and pretty, especially when I sprayed it. But it does look not great anymore. There was like, maybe it's from swatching, but there were like immediately with some hard pan, so I really had to like dig the brush in. So it looks like I've had this a lot longer than I have, but that one shade. I'm sure once I get rid of the hard pan right there, it'll be fine because this looks really beautiful now. So just be careful with swatching this shade, I guess, if you have it. But the mattes all performed beautifully. I really love the way all of them look. This blue, deep smoky look. Oh, it's just so pretty. I really love it. So I am very happy I got this. I can't wait to try the reds. I just don't wear reds very often. I'm more of a red lip than a red eyeshadow person. So I am really happy. If you'd like to see a video where I use both of these or something, I can definitely do that. Let me know in the comments below. I am so happy that Melt brought this back and that people bugging them for as long as they did worked. I don't know if they will bring Vita back or anything like that. It's been mostly Muerte that people have been asking for, but my little Chicanx heart is just so happy to have both of these and have it complete. I am so happy. I store them all on a shelf, all my palettes, but I kind of want to rearrange things so I can put these on top and have it sit like this where you can see them because it's just so beautiful. They need to be appreciated. Let me know what you think of the look. Did you pick up the palette in the restock? Did you find a dupe for it or something that you did instead? Because it is a $58 palette, so it's not cheap. I am very happy with my purchase. So happy to finally have it. And I can't wait to keep playing with it. Definitely not the colors I'm gonna wear all the time, but it's something that when I want a really deep, smoky blue like this, or red, I'm really glad I have it. So I just love the matte formula from Melt so far. I have 5 palettes from them now, and I love them all. I really want basically all of them. I got it. Thank you, Melt, for bringing this back and making me spend money on it. As always, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.